Alright, here it is, the moment you all have been waiting for. The carbon fiber body is out of the mold, and I would say overall it looks pretty good. The finish looks good, the weave didn't get distorted. I was a little concerned. There's a couple spots where it does a little bit of a distortion, but I mean it's really not bad. Coming out of the mold, I picked up some of the gel coat that's the surface of the mold. So things that I need to sand down, and there's a couple little spots like these where the resin lifted, and so I need to touch those up. There's actually a real big one right there. But very, very minimal as far as spots like that overall. It just looks cool. There's no other way to say it. It looks cool. I kind of catch myself out here just staring at it for long periods of time. Something about the texture and the weave of carbon fiber is just really pretty awesome. I can't imagine somebody painting over that or covering it up. So anyway, I got that one. I got the so this is the short version that's on a Typhon or Sinton Arrma, and then this one is on a stretched carbon fiber Limitless. I would venture to say that this is the most carbon fiber Limitless out there. Upper brace, the main chassis. You know, I didn't do the towers and some of that stuff. I guess you could go further with it there. Yeah, I gotta scoot way back to fit it in. So there's the body. I'll show the difference of the first one I made out of fiberglass and the second one out of carbon fiber. So there it is. This stuff, as far as the hardness, you know, it's stiff. It doesn't flex at all. The fiberglass, most of this up front I had like 4 layers, and it's pretty stiff up front, but I can definitely bend it. I mean, I can't do that with the carbon, and this is only 3 layers, although one of the layers is really thick stuff, but you know, this is pretty flimsy back here. It's 2 to 3 layers. And the carbon, I mean, when I bend it, it's moving the entire side. It's pretty awesome. It's tough, and I mean, sure, it's big, so it's got some weight just because of the size, but I mean, when you pick it up, you kind of expect it to weigh a lot more. It's just impressive. Anyway, that is it. If anybody is looking for a recommendation, you know, I don't have a ton of experience on this. This is my first time using epoxy resin. But from what I read, this stuff is very comparable to West systems, but cheaper. So I used the Total Boat 5:1 epoxy resin and the crystal clear hardener. The normal hardener for this resin is a 5:1 resin, and it comes out like an amber color. And since I wanted, you know, a nice finish on it, a crystal clear, this sort of changes the ratio. It becomes 3:1. As far as working with the poly resin versus the epoxy resin, I felt like the epoxy resin was easy to work with. There was very low fumes, odor, even though I wore my mask. Just the noticeable fumes afterwards was very minimal, and easy to spread, easy to work with. The hardest thing when you get, let me see, I got some raw material still over here from when I cut it. Grab a couple pieces, and I think I got fiberglass here. So there is traditional fiberglass cloth, and there's also the this stuff here, the chopped mat. But I mean, you can see it's like a white, clear type of color, and so as soon as it gets wet, it becomes translucent. You can see right through it. So I guess that's the main difference that I noticed, was when working with fiberglass, you get it wet, you can see right through it. You can tell it's wet. This stuff, it's hard to tell. You really can't tell. And during some steps of the process, I used probably too much resin, which is why on the underside you can see some areas that look really wet and real shiny. But again, the carbon body has 3K here, which is what you see, standard twill pattern 3K, and then there's a really thick 12K in the middle, and then another 3K visible on the inside. So it's kind of a layered of 3 layers, and for what I did here, that seems to be plenty. And I still got a roll there in the box, so I might be able to make some more. So I still got to get the tail and fin on the back. That'll be built out of fiberglass, because again, carbon fiber blocks radio frequencies, not 100%, but it does block it. And of course, with RC cars, that's the last thing you want, blocking your radio signal. So that is it. I'll go one more round around here looking at the car. So let's be honest, you want to see this, not hear me talking. I'll have to shoot another video once I get it cleaned up and looking pretty. Just popped it out of the mold this morning and trimmed off the edges. Actually got a little bit wild with the angle grinder right here, so I gotta clean that up too. That is it. She's out of the mold, and overall I'd say it looks pretty good. Alright, thanks guys. Stay tuned for more.